Hey, it's your boy Deric coming to you live from my truck again. Today's I want to talk a little bit about the negative thoughts in your brain, the stuff that the voices you hear telling you can't do something. Again, we talked a lot about mindset and motivation in these videos, and one of the things we talk about all the time is the things that tell you you're not going to do something. What I call the enemy talking against me. Some people call it the drunk monkey, other people call it something else. But the reality is, those voices telling you can't accomplish something. This won't happen because of this, and because of this happened, you can't do this. So I guess this message is about today is about how to stop that from happening, or how to control those feelings, or recognizing that those things are talking to you and they need to push through it. I mean, in that movie, not A Perfect Mind, what was it called? The Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith and his son, that one scene of the basketball courts, and I'm sure if you guys are watching this video, you've already watched that video. It was a motivational video, but he sees his son playing basketball and his son's shooting hoops, and he said, hey, listen, I don't want you spending a lot of time out here shooting hoops. I want you to really practice at school stuff, because I was average at basketball and you'll probably be average too. So don't waste a lot of time doing this. And at that moment, his son Jaden Smith drops the ball and just kind of puts it back in the bag and is upset. And Will Smith sees this in that movie and kind of stops and goes, hey, don't let anyone tell you can't accomplish your dreams. Not even me. And that's what it is, all those things that shape us when we're younger to make us think we can't do something. So I just got back from the gym with a friend, and one of the things I noticed that she did was, when we were at the gym, we went to start doing from presses, went right to curls, and I had just a flat bar for her out there, and it was a straight bar, the 45-pound bar. And she said right away, no, I can't do this. And I said, well, what do you mean? She's like, no, I can't do this. I'm like, well, just try it, see what can happen. Well, guess what? By the third set, she's fucking putting 10 pounds on each side of that thing. But her interior voice told her she couldn't do that. Now, if I wasn't there, I mean, maybe she would have done it. I don't know. But just that one voice saying you can't do something, right? So what's that voice telling you? You can't make another call. This relationship will never work out. Your financial situation will never turn around. That medical report is not going to be good. Like, when you start thinking that way, you have a good chance of being a fucking psychic for that situation. Like, if you keep telling yourself you're going to have a bad situation, you're going to have a bad situation. I think Earl Nightingale said, if you tell yourself you're going to have a bad day, or tell yourself you have a good day, you're going to be right both ways. And I guess the meaning of that is basically just, no matter what you tell yourself, it's true. Like the Bible talks about, our words can snare us, right? So they talk about so what that means is that if you say negative stuff, it'll trap you. You want to constantly be saying positive stuff. Even if it hasn't happened yet, God, thank you for this perfect body. Even though I don't quite have it yet, thank you for making me a multi-millionaire. Even though my bank account doesn't have it in it yet, I know you have purpose for me. Or I know, even if you don't use God, like, you don't have to, but that's what I use. But your mindset, like, thank you for, I believe I'm going to become a multi-millionaire. I believe I'm going to be a fucking millionaire. Look at my smile, baby. Air to air, right? That classic Ben Affleck Bowling Room line. So the voice, if you can recognize that the voice is telling you that stuff, then you can get past it. You can say, like, that's just the voice. I can fucking accomplish this shit. I can make one more phone call. I can call one more seller. I can go out on one more appointment. I can not buy this thing and save one more dollar. I can tell myself that I can fix myself. My body can heal itself, right? That relationship, I can try one more time. I can suck up my pride and go back to this person and say, let's do this. Or, you know what, those fucking shoes aren't important. Like, people get in fights about the fucking dumbest things. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm not the best example of that, because I got divorced, right? But I tried to work my marriage out. It just didn't work. But some people fight over the dumbest things. And now that I'm divorced, I see my friends kind of going through this. I'm like, dude, who gives a fuck about your shoes? Pick them up next time. If you walk in the house and she hates that you got mud over the thing, take your shoes off. Like, who cares? Well, it's principles. One of my friends, and I'm not going to say his name, but he has a problem with his wife putting the heat on all the time. I'm like, dude, it's fucking winter. Like, put the heat on. Who gives a shit? You make enough money. But you don't understand. It's principles. Like, oh, no. It's fucking cold out. If she's cold, it's cold. Yeah, I get it. But you can't you can't change people. You can only change yourself, right? So stop putting her on what they call the potter's wheel. Stop trying to mold her into something she's not going to be. She is who she is, and you fell in love with that person. Now you're saying you're looking for the flaws because of these small things. Those are bullshit. Listen, unless someone beats the hell out of you or bangs everybody on the side when you're not around, you can work a lot of things out. Now, there's sometimes you can't. There's some negative stuff that you just can't get through. But I guess the point of the message today is like, don't try to change people. They are who they are. Listen to the message you tell yourself. Try to change yourself. That inner voice is telling you like you can't do something. Believe me, you can do everything that you want to do. You just have to work at it. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's like the story of bamboo, right? You can buy a little stick of bamboo, plant it in your yard. You can give it sunlight. You can give it water. You can sing to it. You can give it fertilizer. And for the first year, you won't see anything. The second year, you're talking to it every day. You're feeding it food. You're dancing for it. You're having fun. Second year, nothing. Third year, nothing. Fourth year, nothing. Fifth year, nothing. This fucking plant that's 6 inches has stayed 6 inches the whole time. But on the 6th year, bamboo can grow 90 feet. Do you know why? Because in that first 5 years, it was developing a root structure underground to support a 90-foot plant. The point of the story is, when you're doing things, you might not see change right away, but it's under the surface. You're growing. You're making that extra phone call. You're pushing yourself to get there. You're making yourself save a bit more. You're not going to go out on a Friday. Maybe you only go out on Saturdays now. You're saving an extra $100 that you would have spent on beers. These small things get you to that next level, although you don't see them. They're not next day. That can happen. That supernatural can happen where you're like, boom, you won the scratch ticket and you're a multi-billionaire. But most people that gain wealth gain it slowly. So don't look for the big jumps like I'm not this, I'm not that. Don't compare yourself to other people. You are who you are and you're good at what you are. Just keep that inner voice out of you saying you can't do something and just tell it I can do something and move forward. Anyways, I hope it helps. Wanted to give you a shout out. Talk to you later.